what we're going to work on today is our bump and run and our flop shots, chipping and pitching, so that we can, like what we talked about before on the course and our course management discussions about percentage shots. We're going to learn when it's appropriate to hit which shots and do the best we can to give us the highest percentage of getting up and down and lowering our scores. So today we're going to work on the bump and run and the flop shot. Go ahead and start with the bump and run first, and I'll do a quick little demonstration for you. So the bump and run is a shot, one of the easier shots in the short game, but it's one not utilized by most players. A lot of weekend golfers or amateurs like to take the 60 degrees no matter where they are on the course. Even if we're this close and have a lot of green to work with, they're trying to fly it all the way to the stick. But for score-wise, percentage-wise, it's going to be a lot easier if we can get the ball on the ground faster and work on our feel and rolling the ball to the hole as opposed to flying it. It's a lot tougher to judge. You have a lot greater chance of blading or chunking the ball when you're throwing the 60-degree around close to the green. So if we have a shot like this, and we're not too far off the green, like I said, a lot of amateur players will want to grab the 60, throw it up in the air. What we'd rather do is just barely get the ball onto the green, started, and let it roll. So we finished up our lesson here. We worked on the bump and run, we worked on the flop shot. We had good success with both. Now, like I said in the beginning, we've added a couple more tools to our toolbox when we get out on that course. We have more options for the high percentage. What we're trying to do is give ourselves the best chance of getting that ball in the hole, getting up and down, making par. So now we have a couple more tools to do that. You did a great job with the flop shot with the bump and run, and I'm confident that you'll be able to do that on the course. But what I want you to do before we meet again is get a couple practice sessions and do what we worked on. Okay. So that drill where you're actually finishing the ball out and keeping track so that we can try to improve our scores. And when you're hitting the flop shots, I want you to think of the two things that we practice about. I want you to think about shallowing out your arc and accelerating your hands into a high finish position. When we did that, our results were great. Right. With the bump and run, same thing. We want to work on getting our hands a little bit out in front of ourselves. And the analogy that we used was laying the airplane. Just keep thinking about that. Like you said, it takes the technicalities out of it, makes it a little easier for you. And just we're working on using the bounce of that club. A lot of players aren't doing that or haven't learned that. And once you start doing that, I think you're really going to improve on the golf course. Okay. So we'll see you again next week. Get a couple practice sessions in before we see you again. And we can kind of do this again, see what we've improved. We'll take a look at your scores, and we'll get going again next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
To summarize what we talked about and what I want you to do going forward, if you're able to get to the range a couple times in practice, I'll send you an email just of everything that we worked on so you can look at it before you go. But our main goals, just like the objectives earlier, were we want to eliminate losing the spine angle, standing up on it with our head back. So in order to do that, we're thinking about keeping our spine angle by keeping our head in the same spot, and we want our hands ahead of the ball at impact. I think if we can work on that a little bit more, it'll get easier and easier. We'll see you progress more to where we want to be, and then we can start working on a couple other things as well. So if you are able to go to the range and practice just like what we were doing in the beginning with the chip shot, even if you start at the chipping green, I want to just get that feel of your hands ahead at impact. So you get a little crisper impact, and you see our ball flight come down a little bit, a little more piercing in conditions like these, which we'd both be happy about, or like you said, you'd like to see anyways.
Definitely.
So just some chipping drills when you get out here, same thing. Start to feel that club, get to square with your hands ahead of the ball and the head in the same place. If we can do that, I think we'll start to see improvement pretty quickly. And then, like I said, we can get out onto the golf course, try a few things, and go over some course management, some mental game aspects that I think everything will kind of come together and be good.
Great. I feel like I picked up a lot today, so
just good.